It's a whole lot better and healthier than your other options. He won the All-Colony Cook-Off 3 years in a row. Never been done then or since. Well, I appreciate it. We appreciate it. More than you know. Your number's finally been called, and the settled systems had better be ready for you. So, you know about my card game, right? Been playing for years. Honest to goodness, bank robbery. That's what your mom thinks about it, too. Yeah? You better believe it. Usually we're just playing with credit, Auntie, so it's just for fun. Mostly. That Aquila City bank robbery story on SSNN. That was you, right? No argument here. It hasn't been that long, has it? But the big kicker is, I won myself a ship. A real starship. Fair enough. Honey, we got ourselves a visitor. You've been given a precious opportunity. Seize it. And never look back. It's gotta be better than this. Just so you know, your mother's missed you. Like a lot. Not a lot of options out there. I get it. Mom and I don't see eye to eye on some spiritual matters. We decided to let you make your own way. All right, dancing it is. But something beginner-friendly. Like fit for a toddler. But this news, a constellation? For real? Decisions like this one. They're never easy. He passed when you were young, sad to say. Really, answer. How are you? Really? I mean, I know you've been raising all manner of ruckus. I was just joking. This is a whole lot livelier than I was imagining. I had bigger dreams at one point. But when push came to shove, I didn't want to compromise my values. And Constellation's one of the only groups I know still diving into the real mysteries of the universe. Miss Noel said we could look around a little first. I hope you don't mind, but I figured the lodge was just a gnat stop away. I've got some news of my own. You are now officially looking at a retiree, so it was just a labor of love for both of us. As soon as we get settled, we'd love to have you over, but it could take a long, long time. He was chair of Constellation about 50 years ago. Anyway, it's yours. Well, I'm no expert, but he was some sort of wealthy entrepreneur. But it'll be good to get out. Your mother's been sending me links all day about such and such deals and excursions. I was thinking maybe muzzling me? Not that we're not thrilled to see you, daughter, but I thought you were under contract with Argos Extractors. Daughter, no matter what happens, know that we couldn't be prouder. They are not used to anyone saying no. Easy, honey. Let the boy catch his breath. Not that we're not thrilled to see you, son, but I thought you were under contract with Argos Extractors. Those are the ones that kept me going. It didn't matter if they tested well, if it lit a passion in them. That's the stuff. Last time you were there, you must have been 5, 8? You've got that same blank expression as my students in the classroom. That's the real currency of parents. And grandparents everywhere. It's the eyes. You're right. Are you okay, child? I make a mean snickerdoodle. This is just about the saddest place I've ever been. The money you sent home? Well, it means a lot. To both of us. If you ever need to crash and sleep for 2 or 3 days, your bedroom is always open. Son, no matter what happens, know that we couldn't be prouder. Your mother found a deal. One hell of a deal. An all-inclusive vacation package to Neon. I swear our friends think we're making you up. I almost want you to show up in your finest Constellation outfit at poker night just so I can show them. Oh, I know all about her. So, what next? So there's a choice then. Do I have news? Jesus. You stay safe, all right? I hope it keeps you safe. If not, maybe get a good place for it on a mantel. Anything good to watch tonight? Taught my final class last Thursday. The faculty threw me a party and everything. But what you're doing is important. Whatever decision you make, and I know it'll be the right one, your mother and I will support it. Nice to see you, son. See that you do. Keep it, sell it. I don't care what you do with it. I just hope it makes up for all the money you keep sending home. Wait. You're a ranger too? I swear. Well, I'll be. Yeah, nothing good happens here. I've been here long enough to know that. I knew it. I'd like to say we'll pay you back the money you sent home. Lost in thought? I mean, stay. Stay as long as you like, but I imagine you're all excited to get to discovering. Planning a proper, honest-to-goodness vacation. Nothing too fancy. Figures. Oh, dear Lord. I haven't felt so guilty since I was a kid. That's bordering on heresy. This is the family legacy we're talking about. Fred from the poker group said 90% of all marital strife would go away if you just know whether you need to offer help or a friendly ear. Constellation's mandates are broader than I thought. Is everything all right? You better believe it. Enough about that. Anything you want to talk about before you have to go? Your expression makes it totally worth it. What I would give... I'm just joking. Honey, they do more than just work for Constellation, but we can find someplace cheaper, no doubt. We'll manage. I've got lifetimes worth of books and videos to occupy me. So don't worry about me. If you can't afford it, we'll get by. Look at that smart mouth. Where on earth could you have gotten that from? You came. How are you doing? I got some years on you. My guiding star has always been, find something you believe in and fight for it. Teaching? I'll miss some of it. Occasionally, I got a student that I could really connect with and make a difference. Nice to see you, kiddo. He wound up being a benefactor of Constellation and chaired it before he died. Stay as long as you like. Take care, kiddo. I won't lie. This apartment, New Atlantis, there's no way we could afford to stay here without you. Child, no matter what happens, know that we couldn't be prouder. Into one choice. Into one decision that can change everything. No, we are not. That's great. What a step up. For me, it's you and your mother. Every time big life decisions came up, that's what made it easy. Well, you're all grown up, able to make your own decisions. Well, I do what I can. I told you my left feet have left feet. What's going on? Did something happen on Vectera? Sad. They're just sad. So good to see you. There's something I've been meaning to talk to you about. I can't imagine. And I read the news, but you're living it sometimes. Not that I mind. Ugh. Clearly I'm here because I want to be. Do I? Everyone in my poker night is going to hear about you. The stories make them seem colorful. I think I'd like them. It worries your mother that one day you might take on more than you can deal with. But from the sounds of it, just how big are you talking about? Caught you wool gathering, if the subtle systems can spare you that long. Of course you are. It's the eyes. You're right. Are you okay, daughter? Your grandfather taught me what I know of cooking. Yes, that's it. Sorry, a bit of a moment here. So, you want to talk about anything? Not for a long while, no. A move like we're talking takes time. Well, there's no way I'll ever fly it. So we had no idea what to do with the damn thing. It most certainly does. When you're knee-deep in it, it may be hard to see the big picture. And here, of all places. I hope you didn't buy a ticket. But most of the time, no. I won't miss it at all. It's what I'm here for. Dear Lord, this is so awkward. What? Who? Why don't you settle in? You know you're always welcome. Absolutely not. I call it my inner heart. Some people call it their conscience or intuition. Some even call it talking to God. All the paperwork's already been taken care of. I knew where it was, top shelf of the pantry. But it's not there anymore. It was a gift. The dean and I go way back, and he's a bit of a fan of Constellation. Not one bit. When I go to sleep, I got a clean conscience. But then out of the blue, whammo, everything's different. Is it worth it? All that risk and danger? This is my moment. Well, hello. I should have known not to ever trust anyone who puts honest in their business name. If it scares even you, well, I know it must be serious. But you can't be brave without fear. I'll get the coffee brewing. I swear both of you are blind. You take it easy. Maybe stay here for a while. But, that's something. Well, I was in the game of my life. Me and another lady, we went all in and then some. I've told you before, you don't have to. I mean, don't get me wrong. Lord knows we appreciate it. And, well, everyone's heard about the Astral Lounge. Whew. Well, them some steaks then. What would be best for all of us? If you can strip away everything and answer that one question, ouch. Touché. I just had to see it. Well, we worked together to get the piece clean and restored. It's funny how you can live years where the days all blend together. He guarded that recipe like his life depended on it. Did you get injured or something? Pearls before swine. I kept my poker face, even if I felt like letting my insides out. I want you to make the best decision for you. Don't worry about us. Don't you worry yourself about that. All your life, you've been just this mess of potential waiting for a chance. Life's a funny thing. Every now and then, everything comes together. You worked on that for days. Everything's okay. It's okay, all right? Over there. Don't look. Exploration is never easy, and so many never make it home. Where's the tissue paper? You are joking, right? Working for them. It would be hard to look myself in the mirror. You eating well out there? It's easy just to survive off, well, garbage when you're shipbound all the time. I've spent my whole life in a book. I'm fine. I nearly dropped my drink. You were dealing with bank robbers? Now. It's just with our family. The news isn't always great, but maybe not. But one of the best things about the dish is if you package it right, it keeps. But I figure now you're probably old enough to share. Probably. It's too bad you weren't here then. You could have had some cake. To be young and have the whole world in front of you. Well, it helped me. And I get to be your +1. It's nice to have you home. Some of the best food in the galaxy. Uh-huh. I almost believe you. We're just here for the cocktails. So, let's pretend this never happened. It did? I mean, sure. Of course it did. Well, we'll let you get back to it. But, no, I'm not. Something better. As I was saying, but every time I've heard my heart and followed it, I've had no regrets. Understood. Well, you should say goodbye to your mother. No, you have done so much for us. This is yours. After I called, she had 4 of a kind. Queens. But I had an honest-to-God straight flush. You are still all right with that? The signing bonus alone. You know, it's supposed to be us taking care of you, right? If you're sure. But, please don't mention any of this to your mother. I still can't believe it. Constellation. The stories make them seem so exotic, so, well, romantic, almost. Home is a good place to think. And the actual establishment, well, you gotta admit, it's fancy. Service with a grunt and a glare, I always said. But Dad's food kept them coming back. Overall, I really like it here. I think the Freestar Collective suits me. What? Well, I'll be. But next time, let us know you got a story coming on. I figured it would be years until I saw you again. And here you are. I could see that, no matter how crazy it may have seemed at the time. My gut says you're making the galaxy a better place. But you gotta promise not to share Grandpa's meatloaf recipe with anyone. It stays in the family. Honey, he does more than just work for Constellation. Is any of this helpful? No, it was a fair chunk of change. Nothing like that, though. Did I hear you right? Constellation? That's great news. But don't worry. We'll be fine. I love you. And you take care of yourself. Ms. Noel, would it be all right if I brought cookies next time? Near the end of his life, he grew fascinated with space. Honey, she does more than just work for Constellation. Sounds like you're close to the eye of the hurricane. All your adventures. There are so many. It's dizzying to keep track of. I've been promising your mom a trip for years, and I got no excuses now. You always did have a silver tongue. Any meat will do. If it's dry, extra tomatoes. They'll moisten it up if you do it right. Well, give it time. It's a huge transition. Kiddo? I was playing poker with the Dean of Engineering, and he had this collectible revolver framed. And when he heard you were in Constellation, but when he got on in the years, he trusted me with something sacred. I don't know when I'll see you again. You just be safe. Then you get to figure out what to do with it. May I present to you Sir Malcolm Livingston's personal sidearm. All the special modifications just as he left him. Don't say anything to your mom about this, but She got some work done at Enhance. She keeps looking younger every day, I tell her. Seems pretty accurate to me. So finally, I won. I won big. The biggest pot of my life. How is it for real? You liking it? Easy, honey. Let the girl catch her breath. I envy you. Truly. When you find your calling, it can be deeply fulfilling. Oh, that's a terrible joke. Well, it hasn't been that long. I don't understand. Shit. What are the odds? I swear Dad's ghost would come back and strike me dead if you did that. Take all the time you need. And please, we don't want to be a burden. How do you expect me to know where anything is if you keep moving them all the time? What? Of course we are your parents. Anyway, tell me, are you doing well? And none of that, I'm fine, Dad. She just loves New Atlantis. But it's not a cheap place to live. I've been reading. It's good stuff. It's about... He always said, smiling wastes energy. Didn't expect to see you here. What? That little Ashta cracks me up. And it's just cute. It's funny. She keeps it up and she'll be running the whole operation in a few years. He didn't want me to go to uni. I was the only one interested in the restaurant. We'll start looking straight away. We need to be out of here before next month's rent is due. Come again? Now this is history. Would you look at this? His meatloaf recipe. Your mom's not one to toot her own horn, but she's getting to be kind of a big deal. Constellation? Is this one of those candid camera vids? A joke? Whenever I've been there, when I've had a massive decision, I try and quiet all my worrying and second-guessing and just listen. Playing it cool, huh? That's so you. So much pain, loss, and I'm sure some terrible people. I gave it my good old college try. You see what I did there? Hole in the walls have the best food. That's just science. She fires beautifully now. We, took turns sighting it at the range. But we got by just fine before you landed that job with Argos Extractor. You remember Grandpa's restaurant? And then it came to me. You. Easy, honey. Let them catch their breath. I'm glad at least one of us is having a good time. Pretty exciting, if you ask me. Oh, you actually eat that? You really, really need this recipe. Then that Regina is a monster. There ought to be a law. It's the eyes. You're right. Are you okay, son? Nice to see you, daughter. The security system in his office was worth more than the whole apartment combined. Retirement's treating me well, but there are some days I almost missed the class from. I mean, I want to watch it sometime, but I want something light, upbeat. I don't know if anything I taught you about cooking stuck, but I figure it's time to pass the torch. Are we looking for solutions or sympathy? Hell, I didn't mean it like that. It's just hard without access to fresh ingredients is all, and there's real nobility in teaching. Well, at least that's what I told myself. That meatloaf recipe funded 2 houses, my college tuition, and a heap of weddings. But dancing... I mean, couldn't we, I don't know, do... It's good to have you home. As long as you're okay, we're okay. Not that we're not thrilled to see you, but I thought you were under contract with Argos Extractors.